Uh, Thank you, Dr. Nehakakar. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 1918th day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, our guest is Dr. Mini Mehta from Delhi. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathy lovers and doctors, and we have 3 sessions every day. The first session of the day is already over in Hindi from 7:30 to 8:30. From 8:30 to 9:30, we have the international session in English, and from 9:30 to 10:30, the local language session in Malayalam. We are uploading the videos of the same on the very next day itself, so that those who miss the session can make it, can share. Those who miss the session can watch it and share it with your friends, so that the purpose of the forum is to take homeopathy to every home around the world. And let me come to today's guest. This is Dr. Mini Mehta. She has completed PG Homeo BHMS and PG Homeo London and has done a certificate course in oncology and currently posted in palliative care as a physician at Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Hospital, New Delhi. She has done a lot of research work, and she has been exemplary brilliant in the treatment of reducing the side effect of conventional cancer interventions and omitting vertigo, benign tumors, and the growth, allergy, inflammatory disease, and so many, all those things that is connected with oncology department. And she has many clinics in a different part of Delhi, and she has won many awards uh, from different organization. Dr. Hanuman Award in 2010, Dr. Zubair Award in 2014, Appreciation Award in 2016, and Homeo Icon Award in 2009, and Distinguished Services Award by Healthcare Foundation of India for giving free OPD services in Matil Perfect Health Life Care. She had published many presentations and books also, works in depth, a case study, and there are many presentations. So I have many books on and papers. I'm not mentioning about all these things because that will take a lot of time. And she has presented so many brilliant papers in this forum. And today, Doctor will be talking about miasm. As you all know, the basic foundation stone of homeopathy lies in this all this miasm. So we proudly welcome the guest of the day, Dr. Mini Mehta, to this session. Welcome, madam.
Thank you so much for the introduction. So today I'm going to discuss miasms, which is a very vital topic of homeopathy, because when Hahnemann started to gather knowledge about the remedies which he can use on the basis of law of similia, when he started treating people, he got to know there were some diseases which were requiring frequent treatment because the symptoms were recurring again and again. This made Dr. Hahnemann more curious. Can you see the screen? Are you able to see the
Yes, yes,
screen?
yes, everything visible. Yes.
Okay, so this made him so curious. Why the diseases are occurring again and again? So his curious nature led him to investigate more, and he got to know that there are few miasms present in people which decide their reaction towards the environment, physical environment, mental environment, or drugs, or anything. Which so there are miasms, like you were discussing before, that there are vata pitta kapha personalities in Ayurveda. This means this decides the reaction of an individual in certain conditions. So when Hahnemann started proving his medicines also, then also he noted different type of individuals had different type of reactions or more on some other plane. So, in Hahnemann words, the true natural chronic diseases are those. Chronic diseases means which persist and keep on recurring are those that arise from a chronic miasm. When left to themselves, if these diseases are not treated, if they're left to themselves and improper treatment is given, they go on to increase, growing worse and torment the patient to end of his life. This is written in aphorism 78 of Organon. So, miasms are the fundamental concepts in homeopathy that represent inherited or acquired predispositions to chronic diseases, influencing how individuals respond to illness and treatment. Like if somebody gets sick, he gets very nice to other people, he cries a lot, he's reactive in a positive way. And somebody, when he gets sick, he's abusive, he fights a lot. So the innermost deep reaction of that individual comes out when he falls sick. And from there, we can catch the miasm of the individual. There are so many different aspects from which we can take and we can analyze the miasm of the individual. And then we have anti-miasmatic medicines, which we can apply and end the recurrence of the particular complaint in the individuals. So, miasms, as defined by Samuel Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy, are energetic imprints of chronic diseases that can be passed down through generations. They are seen as underlying disturbances in the body's vital force, predisposing individuals to specific health issues. Jesse, like, the people who are psychotic parents, when they give rise to, when they give birth to a child who has inherited psychotic traits, that child keeps on getting the recurrent colic, recurrent burning in the anus, recurrent burning in the urine. So one dose of antipsychotic medicine, Thuja or Medurinum, can make the child better. That child feels better only on abdomen. Earlier, we used to hear it from our, elders, the elder ladies who were so wise to take care of children. They knew that few children, they need to be put on their, lap, on their abdomen, and then only they feel better during the colitis. So those children, if they are treated with the anti-miasmatic, antipsychotic drug, even one dose can end all the complaints, can kill that miasmatic inheritance in them and make them and balance the energies in that child. So Hahnemann identified miasms as a crucial to understanding chronic diseases, emphasizing that effective treatment must address these underlying influences rather than just the symptoms. So, what are the types of miasms? Hahnemann originally identified 3 primary miasms, which have since been expanded upon homeopaths. The main type includes psora, often considered the root cause of many chronic diseases. Psora is associated with underfunctioning organs and metabolic imbalances. Symptoms may include dry skin, allergies, and fatigue. So, psora, it arises from a minor skin complaint which is not well treated or was suppressed, can give rise to so many diseases. And these diseases are non-venereal. And psora means itch at the level of mind or at the level of body. So if somebody is coming again and again with anemia or underfunctioning of organs or weakness, after treating him again and again, giving him good diet, we can make a idea that this person is having is a restless person, he falls sick easily, he is anxious about his health. Then we can use sulfur and calcarea carb like remedies and sorinum to treat him and break that cycle of recurrence of symptoms. Next miasm is psychotic. This miasm is linked to overfunctioning and is characterized by conditions such as tumors and allergies. It reflects a hypersensitive response to environmental stimuli. Remedies like Thuja and Medurinum can help. Syphilitic miasm is always associated with a destructive process in the body, whether in the mind or on the physical plane. This miasm involves severe tissue damage and mental despair. Remedies which can be of benefit includes mercurius, all the salts, and cephalinum. So, what is the significance of miasms in homeopathic practice? Understanding miasms is essential for homeopathic practitioners as it allows for personalized treatment. By identifying a patient's dominant miasm, practitioners can select remedies that address not only the symptoms but also the underlying predispositions to disease. This approach emphasizes the holistic nature of homeopathy, focusing on the individual rather than just the illness. I would like to give an example that I got a case of a small child in my clinic. He used to bite nails and he used to have scabs around his nostril and upper lip. It was a clear case of arum triphyllum. When I was giving him arum triphyllum, the patient was getting better, but the trouble was recurring again and again. Then again, I retook the case and then I could see spoon shaped nails. And you must know that spoon shaped nails are seen in the patients suffering from severe anemia. So I got his blood test done, and there was no anemia. His blood picture was perfectly all right. So, because I read it before that in syphilitic miasm, tubercular and syphilitic miasm, there are spoon-shaped nails. So then I investigated for more symptoms. I checked his palate. He had a hollow palate, high roof palate. So just after giving one dose of cephalinum 30, that complaint which used to occur around his mouth and nose with crusty discharge, offensive discharge, it never recurred. It's been an year and it has not recurred. Also, he was having some cavities in the teeth, hole in the, some already he had teeth, milk teeth, but there were holes in that. They got better. And there were few black teeth and bad teeth, half teeth. So his tooth structure also got better. This is the beauty of, miasmatic prescription. Miasms play a crucial role in homeopathy, providing insights into the chronic nature of diseases and guiding treatment strategies. By addressing these underlying miasmatic influences, homeopathy aims to restore balance and promote healing at a deeper level, ultimately enhancing the body's natural ability to recover from illness. Like I applied that anti-miasmatic remedy, cephalinum, to that child. So he improved in the shape of his nails. He improved in the formation of his teeth. So this is ultimately his body's natural ability to recover from illness improve. Understanding miasms can help individuals and practitioners navigate chronic health issues more effectively, leading to more successful and lasting treatment outcomes. Like if you have got to understand somebody's constitutional medicine and you have been repeating it again, still the patient is getting some rigid symptoms. Then if you are able to understand the underlying miasm of the patient and you give the anti-miasmatic medicine to raise the reactionary powers of the individual, then you can have better results in benefiting the patient. So understanding miasm allows for deep healing rather than symptom management. By addressing these underlying energetic imbalances, homeopathy helps individuals break free from chronic disease patterns and restore their body's natural ability to heal. If you are struggling with recurring health issues that seem to run in the family, like my father also had this rhinitis problem, I have also this problem, and people in our family generally have this problem, and we're not getting better anymore, or chronic conditions that never fully resolve, a holistic homeopathic approach may help uncover and clear miasmatic imbalances. Conditions that would modify now if you say that we all have some miasms in our body, we have psora, psora, syphilitic, psychosis, we all have, and there is one dominant miasms in 90% of the people. Like we all have psora dominating. So what are the conditions that we this get affected and the balance of the body gets disturbed and we contract the disease? So the conditions that would modify a miasm in person's body would be like climate, peculiar characteristic reactions of the person to the climate, or mental delays, or excess of food, or abuses in life through people or food, dietary passions, habits, and various customs. Like you must know that homeopathy is a science where we start treatment when somebody falls sick. But in Ayurveda, it's a science to how to live longer, and how it's a science of preventive medicine also. So there so that your miasm should not get modified. They tell you Ritu Ahar. Ritu Ahar means diet according to the climate, diet according to your nature. That is a preventive action to prevent, diseases. Yoga, to balance your mental and physical energy, and controlled portions. To have a religious life means having some days you are fasting, some days, and not to eat bad things, not to take fall for addictions, various customs, which are preventive. So whenever the people who are unaware of these and unknowingly they break all these things and they fall prey to all these things, abuses in life, dietary passions, the miasms get modified. The medical profession, allopathic doctors, have put names on various diseases such as jaundice, dropsy, leucorrhea, hemorrhoids, eczema, asthma, hysteria, rheumatism, herpes, mania, to name a few. Hahnemann considered all these were based on the same beginnings of Sora, because a psoric person is very curious, very anxious. He wants to know everything. He wants to try everything. So that's why when he gets bored easily, so he's bored of the food. He wants to try something new, and he's bored of his wife, so he wants to have some outdoor affairs. So where he starts to fall for psychosis as well as syphilis. The conventional medical profession treats each one of these diseases on an individual basis with separate medical treatment for each one of them. But as far as homeopathy is concerned, all these names have no use, no influence on the practice of a true homeopathic physician who believes in the theory of miasms. In homeopathy, only the totality of symptoms of the individual state of each particular patient is used to cure the disease. So no real cure of miasms can take place without a strict particular treatment of each case of disease. Chronic miasms are much hidden. They are much, much hidden. Sometimes when you layer out the constitution of the patient, you will get to know the hidden miasm of the patient slowly. And the symptoms are much more difficult to be ascertained. Like, the psoric people, they get better after sweating. They sweat a lot, they feel better after sweating. But the psychotic people, when they sweat, they don't get better even after sweating also. Lot of questions need to be asked to trace the picture of disease. Questions about the medical history of one's family, mental delusions, dreams, and peculiar symptoms. So now, how to identify the various miasms? So how to identify the various miasms to physical expression of miasm? The mind and body work together as a unit, and the disturbances are expressed in both spheres. Psoric miasm, the reaction of body on exposure to environmental stimuli, to one's surroundings like noise, light, odor, producing functional disturbances like headache, nausea, discomfort. So whenever you see person suffering from headache, nausea, discomfort, easily disturbed, panicked by small little disturbances around from the surroundings, you can think of psoric miasm. Confirming few more symptoms. Psychotic miasm is hypersensitive response to something specific, arising from a deficiency of the normal response, like tumors, allergies, keloids, overgrowth. Deficient feeling gives rise to an increased attempt to repair the default. Lack of confidence. Syphilitic miasm, not manageable. Tissue destruction like gangrene, ulceration, Body and mind destroy itself. Give up. Tubercular miasm. Respiratory imbalance, weakness, people who feel chilly early, like, even just the winters have started approaching, they want their sweaters out, they feel chilly. And if they sleep, they with their head covered, their head sweat. They have epistaxis, bleeding gums, long eyelashes, they crave for salt, they get bloody stools if the stool is hard. Milk disagrees, causing diarrhea. They're anemic, weakness. They want to hug the sun. They want to stay in the sun. They have beautiful skin, beautiful hair. They get tuberculosis. They get ringworm, acne, white spots on nails, and they're scared in their dreams. They get nightmares. This is how these symptoms, if you get, you can think of these miasms, but you need to confirm the other symptoms on different planes. So these were the physical expression of the miasms. Now, personality types. How is a psoric miasm personality types? Highs and lows, extremes. Struggling with outside world becomes apparent at the time of stress. Lack of confidence, constant anxiety, feeling fear like he can't do it, insecurity, anxiety about the future, but always having hope, mentally alert, like argentum metallicum, argentum nitricum. Psychotic miasm is secretive. Doctor, please don't tell that I am taking treatment for this thing from you. Hides his weakness, tense, constantly covering up situations, hiding the acne, fixed habits, suspicious, jealous, forgetful, mentally all the negative symptoms. And syphilitic miasm, strong, pessimistic view on life, cannot modify what is wrong, gives up, destroy, no point in trying to adjust. People, you would have seen people who are religious, but they can kill on the name in the name of religion, because they're so pessimistic, and they're so insecure, and they think they're so pessimistic and strong willed, they can kill themselves and they can kill other people also. So these are syphilitic minded people. They have mental paralysis, mental dullness, suicidal, stupid, stubborn, homicidal. They don't want to have solutions. They want to kill. They have a passion to kill. Tubercular miasm is dissatisfaction. The person is going to have a lot of affairs, lack tolerance. If you're scolding him a lot, then he is not going to come to your coaching center to read, or to your clinic to um, for internship. If you scold them a lot, if you have some opinion on their appearance or the way they're behaving, they want to change everything, and they can do harmful things to oneself, because they will drive their car fast, they will ride the bike fast, and they will crash into some dangerous situations. These are the personality types of different miasms. So, what is the general nature of the miasm? Psoric miasm: itching, burning, inflammation, leading to congestion. So on the physical plane, what problems cover the psoric miasm? Itching, lot of itching. Doctor, I'm having itching. Acne person is having acne. They have a lot of itching, burning, inflammation, leading to congestion. And mentally, they're philosopher people. They'll talk a lot. They'll have a lot of opinions. They would have read a lot of things. Selfish, restless, weak. They would not like to have a physical fight. They must fear what will happen in the future. I have heard that in 2026 will not be a good year. I have heard it through the astrologers. Psychotic miasm, they won't speak much like psoric people. Psoric people will speak out whatever they have inside. They are very quiet. They know where to speak, when to speak, and on the body level they have overproduction. They have growth like warts, overproduction of the glands. Like they will have gallstones, warts, condylomata, fibrous tissue, attacks the internal organs, pelvis, and sexual organs. Most importantly, psychotic miasm is going to attack the pelvis and the sexual organs. Syphilitic miasm, destructive, disorder everywhere, ulceration, fissures, Pilonidal sinus. You would have treated a lot of pilonidal sinuses, deformities. They will have two, one tooth over the other. One tooth has not fallen in a small child, the other teeth is coming over it. Double tooth they are having in their mouth. Ignorance. No matter how many times you will tell the child not to hit the child has a tendency to grab the other child by hair or nose. Suicidal, depressed, memory diminished. Whatever these are the children in the class who will keep on fighting, hitting other people, sitting, doing the bad things again and again. They're poor at reading, poor at producing homework. So you can kill the miasm by identifying the miasm in them and using the anti-miasmatic remedies. Tubercular miasm, changing symptomatology. Vague, weak, lean, thin child does not want to sit at one position, somewhere sitting at the first bench, looking here and there, doing this and that, standing outside the class, inside the class, shifting in location, depletion, dissatisfaction, lack of tolerance, careless, problem child, cravings that are not good for them. Like when they're 13, 14 years, they would they would like to try everything. A lot of people who are in the film industry, lean, thin, with good jawline. These are the people having tubercular miasm. They would like to try every addiction possible on the planet they're so curious to know what is that, but what it can do to them. So they are very problem people and they have cravings which are not good for them. So how to identify miasms through dermatological symptoms? So psoriatic miasm, dirty, dry, itching without pus or discharge, burning scaly eruptions, eczema, cracks in the hands and feet, sweat profuse, aggravation during sleep, offensive sweat. Psoriatic miasm related to Vat. Vat, when the body gets dry. How do the body gets dry in Ayurveda Vat? When person eats lot of sweet thing, then it creates a pressure on the liver, and due to the abnormal gastric digestion fire, the body gets, if person is not drinking lot of water, the skin gets dry, then there are scaly eruptions. And similarly, so it is related to psoriatic miasm and Vat. Psychotic miasm, warts, moles, unnatural thickening of skin, people with fatty liver, herpes, scars, nails are thick. You would have seen ladies with very bad toenails, thick nails, irregular and corrugated, oily skin with oozing, disturbed pigment in patches, like sepia has got patchy skin, lycopodium, patchy skin. So when it is in psychotic miasm, they have patchy skin, white patches or brown patches around the high cheekbones. Syphilitic miasm, you will see ulcers, mouth ulcers, boils in underarms. If you see somebody getting recurrent boils in the underarms, on the abdomen, in the groins, discharge of fluids and pus, which is offensive. Discharge from nipples in females, discharge from vagina and pus, which is offensive. Discharge from the navel of fluid, which is offensive. In syphilitic miasm, the ulcers which are slow to heal, which have gray base ulcers, leprosy, copper colored eruptions, aggravation by heat of bed. Again, see, spoon shaped thin nails that tear easily, gangrene, putrid, tubercular miasms, ringworm. If you see ringworm, you can give basilinum, tuberculinum, eczema, urticaria, herpes, recurring boils with pus and fever, which does not heal fast. It can be a tubercular miasm, provided you see the physical appearance of the person, leprosy, aggravation by warmth of bed, amelioration by cold, nails, white spots on nails. Again, recognizing miasms on the base of kind of pain. In psoriatic miasm, the pain is neurological type. sore, bruised, which is better by rest and which increases by motion, like we use in bryonia, alumina. Psychotic miasm, joint pains, rheumatic pains are aggravation by cold, damp weather, like Dulcamara, amelioration by motion, stitching, pulsating, wandering pains. You can think of causticum also. Syphilitic miasm, bone pains, tearing, bursting, which comes only the from starts from the evening time and continues through the night till the early morning. Tuberculomism, great exhaustion. I cannot walk. I want to take rickshaw. Mummy, I cannot walk. Oh, please take some rickshaw. Enough. They'll, whenever they'll come back home, they can, anytime they can sleep. Never enough rest. And they would always love to have sit in the sun. Sun ameliorates and gives strength to them. So, what are the miasmatic clinical diseases? A psoric miasm. Psoric, what all diseases come under psoric miasm? Acidity, burning, cancer, sarcomas, constipation, epilepsy, flatulence, hoarseness, itching of skin, leprosy, burning of spinal cord, watery discharge from nose, eyes with burning, symptoms of basic inflammation. And what all diseases are covered in the psychotic miasm? Abortion, acne without pus, no redness, angina pectoris, anemia, appendicitis, cough, colic, pelvic disease plus sexual organs, piles, prostate, nephritis, gout, arthritis, asthma, dysmenorrhea, herpes, rheumatism, warts, urinary ailments, swelling without any cause, overgrowth of tissue anywhere in the body, and all the benign enlargements come under psychotic miasm. Syphilitic miasm, discharges putrefied, सड़ी हुई एकदम putrefied like dead bodies. Blindness, ulceration in veins and bones like varicose veins ulcer, carcinomas, fistulas, gangrene, hyperextension, bone marrow inflammation, insanity due to depression. These all are destructive diseases. Leukorrhea, rheumatism of long bones, skin disease with ooze plus pus, weeping eczemas, ulcerated sore throat. Ulcerated sore throat, you must have seen, pus pockets on the back of posterior wall of the throat, history of abortion, sterility, immature death, ischemic heart disease, suicidal deaths, insanity, destructive last stage of cancer, disseminated tuberculosis, ulcers of ear, nose, urinary organs, mouth. And next, the diseases of tubercular miasm. Aching pain in knees, swelling, bedwetting. And you must know that tubercular miasm is also called pseudosora. So, carious teeth, destruction of bone marrow, diabetes, dry cough, eczema, emaciation, epilepsy, extreme fatigue, weakness, glands enlarged. Some people bring their children to your clinic and say, doctor, there's no problem, but this child has these, glands. We can see some glands in the neck area, cervical glands enlarged, and they fall very easily for cold and cough, tonsils, influenza, insanity, like schizophrenia, obstruction of intestine, diabetes, malaria, insomnia, nocturnal perspiration, palpitation, profuse hemorrhage of any orifice, tubercular miasm, for which you can give phosphorus and sometimes sulfur also, pneumonia, ringworms, short-tempered, nasal coryza, worms. A knowledge of all miasmatic phenomena would be a complete knowledge of all that is known as disease. Hahnemann discovered that miasms, due to the fact these ailments kept coming back year after year. When the correct remedy was given, there was no permanent cure. Hahnemann's proof of the existence of miasm was the persistency of these chronic diseases even after taking care of other diseases causing factors like diet and hygiene. They seem to come from within the organism, from some particular dynamism within, from something that was deranged with the life force itself, inherent, internal, pre existing with the dynamism. This is what I was talking about. So when Hahnemann, even when Hahnemann gave the correct remedy, there was no permanent cure. Like he was finding that person to be a Nux vomica person again and again. He reached Nux vomica 0 by 5, 6, but still the patient was not having a permanent cure. Hahnemann then realized he saw the proof of the existence of miasms for the persistency of these chronic diseases. Even after taking care of other diseases causing factors, taking all full care, like a perfect diet should be given, hygiene is maintained, still the person is having it because he had some inherited miasma in it, which needed treatment. So he found that there is something more dynamic, which was dearranged, which was not balanced within the life force itself, which need balance, inherent, internal, pre-existing within the dynamics. So this was all about miasms, and we need to know there are so many anti-miasmatic remedies. So many people have written lot many things about the miasms, their experience, and we know there are so many medicines like anti-syphilitic medicines like Auramure, Neonatrem, Kali iode is an anti-syphilitic remedy. Kali sulf, Merck iode rubor, Merck cor, Merck iode flavus, Merck nitric acid, Phytoleca. Phytoleca, it works like a mercury. It's a plant mercury. Phytoleca, Silicea, Syphlinum. Similarly, psychotic remedies. If you go for Argentum metallicum, Argentum nitricum, Kali sulf, Tetram sulf, nitric acid, sepia, Staphysigaria, Medurinum, Thuja, these are antipsychotic remedies which help in stopping the pertinacy of the symptoms and making the patient free from the disease. You should be well aware of the symptoms of all these miasms. Like psychotic people, what they have, they are very suspicious, jealous. They have so many symptoms on mind, and these people, their physical symptoms, whenever there's a weather change or whenever there is a rainy weather, they suffer a lot. All the psychotic people are kaph pravritti. They have more water retention in their body. Whenever there is more humidity outside, these people start to have symptoms. So this was all I had to share, because this is a very, very vast topic, miasm. So this was the material I wanted to share, and now I think we should go for some discussion. If you have some doubts about it, so we can take them and we can discuss it, because more we will discuss it, more we will learn it, because otherwise the information is too vast, but the basics we need to understand. So anybody who can who can share their case which they cleared with an anti-miasmatic remedy, or anybody is having any doubt about it. Hello,
So,
can you hear?
yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it was really an excellent session. We thought that you will go in a wider way, but you cut short everything in a short way and described the miasm with the beautiful uh, narration of short symptoms.
Many times when we start teaching miasms to people, They just don't get to remember anything. It's
Yes,
like Gita Pravachan. You read the entire 18 chapters, but you have to read it again because
yes,
you forget it.
yes. I still remember there was a person named as Dr. C.J. Varghese who took a 10-day session for Myasam. But
Yes.
I know after some people who attended the session, okay, when they came back, then I asked them to, what do you got from that? Absolutely, they were not able to.
Yes. So my concern was I just want to motivate everybody to know and understand MISMs. So through small indications.
Yes, that's how we get. Say otherwise, people may used to think that, oh,
You know,
insane.
they say Sora is
Yes,
multi-headed.
yes, yes.
This it's like why? Because we all are soaring.
Yes.
And if somebody does if they and the other two are venereal diseases, so you need to know what are the symptoms of venereal diseases, where it is syphilitic, where is the bubo, how does the bubo look like. The people who are syphilitic or who have already ever suffered from suppressed sexual disease, you will find them more religious with a tika on their forehead,
Yeah, exactly.
tika on the forehead. From through that also you can crack. They're extra religious syphilitic people. Now they have very fixed opinion about their religion. They'll fight for it. Very protective.
That we can see there are several people who are not as usual as everybody, but they may be always be political people. But later, sometimes they may be working for the left people, as you know, this Communist Party. And what they happen is that once they get some name and everything, they may gradually go towards the religious things, and they may hang on that. That also we have seen in some people. So that kind of people, that
Psychosis is so easily available in front of you. Everybody is psychotic nowadays. Jealous.
yes,
They're jealous, and you will ask, they will have warts. They have, if they have genital warts, if they have wart in the rectum, and doctors are calling that it's a cancer, you start treating that case as an antipsychotic case. The patient is going to get improved.
exactly. That's what the in what that's what the benefit of knowing these matters in a better way.
Yeah, I will tell you. I know a person, and that person told me that he was feeling very anxious and he was getting very bad thoughts in the evening, that something bad is going to happen. And he was getting thoughts, police, maybe I'll do something wrong, that police is going to come and catch me. He was shivering as if he was in guilt and he was anxious. And then, after taking the whole case, I got to know that that person started to take black coffee because he was gymming. So that black coffee was playing on his mind, and he was a soric personality, and it was making that person worse. So,
Exactly.
so in that case, I had to just stop. First, I had to stop the coffee. After stopping the coffee, then I had to see after 7 days how much intensity of the symptoms were left. Then he started having some eruptions on the back and shoulder. Then then I was sure. Then I gave him Sorinum 31 dose because that was the physical symptoms. Mentally he was better. So he got better. And then I told him, you should never take coffee. It's your enemy. And sometimes some people were over jealous. They were so anxious. They were having fixed thoughts. And this lady was suffering from uh, adenomyosis of uterus, bleeding, and she was having a mania to clean the house, to wash hands. And she told me that, doctor, I don't know why some thoughts get stuck into my mind, like if I have to call my gardener and I'm calling him and he's not picking up my phone, I'll keep calling. I know I should not do it. I keep calling that person. So after taking it, she was having very bad mouth ulcers. Okay, she was having dribbling saliva while she was sleeping. I gave her Merc Sol also. Then, I was giving her sepia also. Then once I just gave her Syphilinum 201 dose, she was much, much, much better.
Exactly. That's all.
And her adenomyosis also got better. Everything got better. Later on, the whole picture of the disease changed.
That's why some people used to say that whenever you treat a patient and the patient is not getting better out of their treatment, then you can give a dose of sulfur. Because in those cases, most of the if it is of a soric nature, otherwise, just like you told that if it is a psychotic one, then you can go in that way, or it's a syphilitic one in a different way. But if your patient is more of a more of the nature of this sorry nature, then you can give a dose of sulfur, and that will
Right.
that sometimes that itself may
Stimulate.
yes.
And usually very casually we get patients in our clinic, it's small children having diaper rashes,
Yes.
children to psychotic parents. They will always suffer from colitis. They'll sleep on abdomen. One dose of medorinum and they are going to get better. they they
Exactly.
they'll have trouble in teething troubles with very bad colitis. So you'll give them the anti-miasmatics, especially in small children. When you give anti-miasmatic, it works really wonderful. If you see a child having very long eyelashes, beautiful hair, and rosy cheeks, and talking very nicely, creative, artistic, carrying herself very beautifully with matching bags, and that child is suffering again and again for urine infection or anxiety or cold and cough, one dose of tuberculinum will help her. So
Yes.
these are the symptoms which we can see. And I this is so beautiful. I shared this spoon shaped nails thing with my one allopathic colleague. I told him, see, we'll get this test done and we'll see this child is not anemic.
Exactly.
We can see, somebody has asked, if the patient is tubercular myasm and has TB in history, then can we give tuberculinum as anti-miasmatic medicine? Only when it is required. If he has tubercular myasm and has a tubercular history, then also we can give him tuberculinum if it is required. Because what I know is that we should never give tuberculinum in active tuberculosis. But if he has ever suffered long back, then we can give, if the situations demand, we can give it. There's in high dose we can give it. We have to see. Any other question?
Yes, Ramadan
Somebody
Sasha.
was, yes, he was raising hand. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Dhaneji, and congratulations, Dr. Mini Mehta. Mini Mehta is a dynamic personality in IFPH. Your insightful work on Miaz in homeopathy is deeply appreciate, deeply appreciate. Miaz is the without Miaz remedy not curable disease. Hahnemann describes the classification of disease. First, acute indisposition, and miasm, sora, psychotic, and syphilitic. So, without miasm, not cure the disease. A miasm, highly miasmatic remedy. Sora, highly miasmatic remedy, sulfur. King of anti-soric remedy, sulfur. And highly queen of remedy, anti-soric remedy, sorinum. Highly psychotic remedy, antipsychotic remedy, king of antipsychotic remedy, Thuja, the queen of antipsychotic remedy, Medorinum.
Right.
Highly king of antisyphilitic remedy, Merksol. The highly queen of antisyphilitic remedy, Syphilinum. And any remedy, support miad, pseudosora, tuberculosis miad is just like soric miad, background of pseudosora according to Hahnemann.
Right, sir.
हाँ, तो
Dr.
very
Seema is asking about the mixed miasm. Dr.
mixed
Seema, you're
miad.
very right.
Yes, yes, yes.
Nowadays, mixed miasm is coming up because due to lot of suppression, due to
Yes,
vaccination,
yes, yes.
due to painkillers, due to anti-allergics, there is
Hmm.
lot of suppression of the discharges of the diseases. So there is lot of mixed miasms, and mixed miasm is giving rise to diseases like cancer, autoimmune disease, lichen planus. So mixed miasms are nowadays becoming a kind of one-sided diseases in which the symptoms are so much suppressed, they are very difficult to cure, very difficult to cure. A very focused case taking can only start giving relief to the patient in the mixed miasm. Like somebody had eruption. I'll tell you, somebody has a corn on the feet, and that corn they use the corn tape, then later on some ointments, then later on surgery. So they never treated the if it that person was an anti-crude person, they never treated the entire anti-crude person, never told him what to eat, what not to eat, but they kept treating the local symptom. So that's how it keeps on making it worse and worse. Like in the cases of pilonidal sinus, when the sinus is there, they block the sinus, they treat it locally, and that then they can take it. After a lot of suppressions, it can become worse and worse, and miasms can become mixed. So cancer is a mixed miasm case nowadays. Schizophrenia, mental illness is a mixed miasm case. I got a patient who had eruptions in underarms. He was getting recurrent boils in the underarms, which should be easily treated by the antisyphilitic Merck Sol and Hepasol, so many medicines. But he got treated with antibiotics, some ointments, and some then the boils were coming in huge size, so he got that operated. After that much of suppression, that young boy got insane. He got schizophrenia, was running here and there. He got disturbed, mentally disturbed. So again, when he came to my clinic, I started with lachesis because on the basis of the symptom. When I started treating him, the eruptions again came in the underarms. This time, I let those eruptions to ooze, and when I started treating him with someday with Hepasol, LM potency, Merck Sol, LM potency, and this entire thing take 1.5 years, and I gave him Ciflinum 200 every 15 days, okay, one dose. And then I had to give him last Sorinum. Then he got better. Now he's working, he's doing a job. So this is how the complex cases of mixed miasm come to you. So now I would like to take a question from Dr. Salim Kumar. Please
Yes,
tell me.
yes, Dr. Salim Kumar.
Madam, no questions because I am very much impressed with your class. Usually, those who are taking the class on miasm, most probably it is repulsive, or we don't get anything, or usually it become confusing. But your class, whatever your slide, everything, it is very clear and easily digestible, and it is simple. So I thanks for presenting such a class in IAPH once again, because in miasm it is usually it is somewhat like a mirage before us. We don't get anything, or whatever we get, it may not giving result because of the mixed miasm, etc., etc. Even the class is like a mirage. We don't get anything. But your presentation was very clear and very good and very attractive. So I get some points from also it also. So I am very thankful. And once again, heartfelt uh, Congratulations.
My idea was to just to discuss so that we all should understand so well that in the old times all the kings were syphilitic because they
Yes.
knew they had to kill. So Aurams are kings. So gold
Mm.
suits to people who have that king-like personality, and nervous
Yes.
people who had to perform silver, argentums. They always need
Mm.
guides. They're anxious. They can be soric also.
Ah,
So soric people who will fall prey to sexual disease, venereal disease, when if they'll get in time right anti-miasmatic treatment, they can go back to soric miasm. But if you have inherited psychotic miasm or syphilitic miasm, then clear picture you will present with clear picture. Like, some people will tell you in our family we have 4 or 5 people who will have heart disease, some structural deformity in the heart. Some
mm.
people will tell you they'll have. So this is a syphilitic miasm traveling. You will high arched palate, long teeth, high cheekbone, gaunt-like face. Sometimes some psoric people can become syphilitic due to the mental disease, some mental trauma, like a female who lost her child, repeated abortions. She lost her child and now she's syphilitic in mind. And now if she conceives again, the womb which got an aborted fetus 1 month back, if she again conceives in that womb, she can for sure get a syphilitic child with some heart disease, some structural deformity. So this is
Yes.
how history also helps us to find out
Yes.
what
Yes.
happened, how many encounters. And cancer mixed miasm, cancer miasm is rising up due to the torture also, people dominating other people a lot. So if somebody has a history of dominating, dominance throughout the life or sudden dominance, this cancer miasm is rising
Yeah.
nowadays.
Exactly. This is how the evolution of diseases happens in a person. As the same way, the evolution of miasms can happen into a person. If a person is soaring in the beginning, he can go to the psychotic stage, and then she or he can become a syphilitic patient in this way. And that's you have explained beautifully about the evolution of the child, how this child become syphilitic when it was born in the womb of a mother who has this syphilitic nature, and that's why this kind of the heart diseases in children or some other faulty deformities in their birth may happen.
That's why, we have our, Ayurveda or our religion or our science or the thing we were living our life. We used to tell females during pregnancy, don't think wrong, only think of God, think everything positive, because we knew that throughout throughout the pregnancy, a female is in a psychotic state because she's developing something in her body
Yeah.
already.
Is
And
that
till the time a child is born, it is a part of female's body. Why?
is
And it is not it is drowned. What happens when a child is born? What is the first thing a child does? When child is born, he inhales first breath. And when somebody dies, what does that person do? Exhales. So whether if you think that if the personality you call yourself, whether it is that energy which enters the body or that is the material which was delivered through the mother.
Yes, that's the reason why we used to say that if you take some homeopathic medicine from the pregnancy onwards, then you can avoid this kind of syphilitic children in the future. Even
Right, right.
there are stages in which we can administer our homeopathic medicines and which can revert the probability of this syphilitic children.
So, that's why people, when earlier they used to go to get a girl to get married to their son, they used to see, look, if the girl is having beautiful teeth or not, beautiful set of teeth, should not have a depressed nose, because this is how their way of identifying a psoric personality.
Exactly. That's
And
usually.
if there was some, if they used to hear about some syphilitic disease like, you know, vitiligo or suicide in somebody's family, they knew it travels generation to generation, this kind of thought. So they used to ignore that family to get their children get married.
Okay. Now I am inviting Dr. Ambaresh sir to say vote of thanks to the session.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Mini Mehta. Congratulations for such an excellent contribution. Miasmatic, mias, Sora, psychotic, and syphilitic. Sora miasm is a mental itching and functional diseases. Mental itching means negative and positive mental itching. So, behalf of IFPH, very, very thanks. Thank you. Again, presentation.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Dr. Ambaresh sir and Dr. Mini Mehta and those who attend this session. And tomorrow we will have his presentation from Dr. Lucas Pacho from Brazil. And we'll be talking about integrative homeopathy for autism treatment. He is a medical doctor and he is now practicing homeopathy in Brazil. So we can expect another bombarding session tomorrow also. Hope all of you will join us tomorrow and hope Dr. Mini Mehta will come up with some more cases of these miasm proving theories.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you very much. Sure.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good night.